Welcome back to the on-campus interviews. My name is Venner. I'm here with Josh Nichols, the Esports Coordinator. I'm just going to have you do a little bit of an introduction for me, how long you've been here, what you kind of do, if that's all right?
Sure, yeah. So I actually am a graduate of DSU. I was here in 2007 when I graduated, worked in a bunch of different positions, but I've been here as an employee for about 16 years, and I've been doing esports since 2019 when we started.
Excellent, excellent. So what's the direction of the esports program looking like for this upcoming season?
World domination. We're looking to totally take over the whole esports arena for everybody. No, our esports program is one of those things that a lot of people are confused by, what exactly it encompasses. We do have our varsity team, but we also do a lot more on campus. We have, the Blue Hawk Hub, which is our casual gaming space. We have a club on campus. We have a broadcast lab. We have students that we employ for those various things. We just added a graduate assistant to help us with our program. So we're looking to really expand esports across campus so that we have a home for any student if they have an interest in gaming. But with our varsity team, that's kind of our core. And so we've just added Overwatch this semester as a new title, to complement our Valorant team. And in the future, going forward in the spring, we're hoping to bolster those rosters, and then in fall 2024, possibly add Rocket League and even some other things like eNASCAR and iRacing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty. We're looking at a whole racing simulator lab with. These simulators are great. There's multiple screens to simulate windshields. You have actual spec'd wheels that are just like the cars, whether it's an F1 car or NASCAR or something like that. So it's pretty cool. So hopefully we add more little bells and whistles to the program as we go along.
For sure. It sounds like you guys are getting some good stuff.
Yeah.
So my next question. So have you added any upgrades this year?
So we are actually upgrading things as we speak. So our computers that we have within our varsity lab, they're a little bit dated, and when I say dated, they work for all the games that we play, but they're not as flashy and have all the bells and whistles that we want. So we're actually looking to upgrade that lab completely with the newest high-end equipment that's very attractive to recruits that are coming in. A lot of people think that it's really easy to recruit for gaming. It's a very competitive industry. Like, we will offer students scholarships and all sorts of great things to come here, and they're like, I don't know, I've got 3 other offers on the table, and so it's very competitive. So having the highest end equipment is going to be really something that's attractive for incoming recruits. So when we replace that lab, that's going to free up a lot of PCs that then we can use for other areas on campus. We'd like to add more to the Blue Hawk Hub. We'll then take one of those to use for like the iRacing simulator. We're even looking at possibly partnering with academic departments across campus. So we have a great VR anatomy software that we can use, and hopefully the nursing program, if we give them a VR unit, we give them the PC, we set it up for them, students will be able to utilize that for study purposes and for interactive learning within the nursing space.
That sounds awesome. I like that you're kind of using your utilities and whatnot campus-wide. That's pretty sweet.
I am very frugal, and when you have a little money, you have to use it to the best of your ability. Like, I know when we first started our broadcast lab, we had quotes for somewhere around $250,000 to $300,000 to set up a broadcast space, and I'm like, I have like $300. I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And so right now we even use we have a 4K camera that we use, and we split up into multiple angles. So one camera serves as 3 camera setup. And so it looks like we have 3 cameras on our broadcast, but we really only have 1. So we sort of cheat.
That's impressive, though. It's impressive. All right, so my final question, who are your sponsors for this year?
Yeah, so all of those great bells and whistles and upgrades I've been talking about, those are all, have to be funded in some capacity. So, we get great support from the students on campus and student fees and our technology committee and the university as a whole, but we then supplement that with sponsors. And so Lenovo and Intel is a sponsor for us. We just added Northern Bottling at Pepsi, so they're actually going to be putting some murals and stuff up in the student center in the lower level next to our varsity lab space. And those funds are going to be not only helped to use for scholarships, but also for those lab upgrades, the racing simulator labs, and those types of things as well. So we're always looking for more sponsors. If you have money, we'll take it. You don't even need to like video games. I'll still take your money.
That works. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Josh. It's pretty exciting stuff you have going on campus. We appreciate your interview this morning. And now tune in to Dallas's in-studio interview. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, I'm Dallis Mitchell, your in-studio host once again. Here with me today I have Alexa Kappel, softball player, and Teagan Townsend, the basketball player. So if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourself for the audience.
I'm Alexa Kappel. I'm from Miles City, Montana. I went to Dawson for 2 years and then transferred here at Dickinson State.
I'm Teagan. I'm from Cali, Wyoming. I've been at Dickinson all 4 years. I'm a senior.
Nice. So, Teagan, this year the women's basketball team and the softball team had their second annual rivalry games that Coach Fleury and Coach Nelson decided to do last year. Can you kind of give us a recap of how last year's game went and then what this rivalry kind of consists of?
Yeah, so last year we played softball for our first game, and they definitely showed their dominance of playing infield, not letting us run bases, and then they were able to hit and get on base, and so I think the ending score was 22-1, so they beat us pretty good. And then in basketball, we played them in the second game, and we kind of pressed most of the game, and so we kind of didn't let it go past half court. But they had a few girls on the team who knew how to play basketball and stuff like that, so they were pretty good. And so I think the final score that was 56-33, so that was pretty fun though. But I liked it. It was so fun.
And then what did you guys do for the third game last year?
And then last year we played flag football for our third split game. But yeah, that was so fun. We didn't end up doing that this year, but yeah, we played that and it was so fun. I think the coaches got into it more than anything, but the girls loved it. Yeah, so that was the funnest game out of the three, I'd say.
Yeah.
But.
And then basketball won last year?
Yes, basketball won it last year, yep. Yes.
Lex, was the outcome different this year? How did softball do in the 3 games against basketball?
Well, considering we lost last year, the outcome was different, yes, because we got the dub this year. But I think we all had our advantages and disadvantages in all of the games. This year, the first game was basketball, and our 3-pointers were 5 points. Our buckets were 2 or 3 points. Yeah. So that was obviously our advantage. They pressed the whole time basically, and not all of us knew how to play basketball, but like Teagan said, we had some girls that can hoop, so it helped a lot. I don't know what the final score was though.
I don't remember this.
We did lose that game, obviously. Yeah. And then the second game, we played softball. It was a little rough. They had, I don't know, 15 people on the field. We had, for some time, we had, 4 on the field. So it was, a pretty big jump from, the advantages we had in basketball. But we ended up winning on a walk-off. Everyone loves a walk-off game in softball.
Makes it exciting.
So, oh, yeah.
Makes it exciting. And then the third game was kickball, which I think we also probably had more of an advantage because we knew how to base run and stuff.
Yeah,
you probably can say the same. So
yeah.
I don't know if that was fair, but it was fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun. I liked kickball.
Yeah. So with winning the rivalry games, softball now gets to have the trophy for a year. And then we'll come back next year and do it again and see who gets it for that year. Lex, for softball, are there any more fall ball games this year that anyone can come watch?
Yeah, we play at 1 and 3 on Sunday.
Against who?
Miles City Community College.
Perfect. And then Teagan, when does basketball season kind of start for you guys?
We started our first season practice this Monday, and then our first games start October 27th, and we go down to Bellevue, Nebraska for that. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's coming up quick.
Yes.
Yeah, that's super exciting though. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you guys stick around, you can get the weekly recap from Jacob.
Welcome to the Hawk Talk segment, A Minute with Easton, where we give Easton 60 seconds to answer a question or multiple questions. Today's question is, what do you like to do in your free time?
All right, so big reader, especially like biographies and other history reading. Major sports fan, so the little time I have, I spend a lot of time, especially Blue Hawk sports, but some other sports also. Little hidden pleasure that might surprise people is that I listen to the Broadway music channel on Sirius XM in my car because I like Broadway musicals and songs from Broadway musicals. More extended would be travel. Really enjoy travel, and in the last few years, my wife and I have had the good fortune to take some international trips. That's been fun, but a lot of, Black Hills, Badlands. What have I not mentioned? Well, of course, we have 3 children, and so, keeping in touch with them, sometimes visiting them because they're very distant. We got one in Wyoming, one in Florida, and one in Connecticut. So that's pretty much it. Did I make a full
Perfect.
minute?
Yeah, that's time. Yeah, there
Right.
we go. Awesome. This has been Jacob Marley with President Easton.
Now time for your DSU sports and on-campus recap. For baseball, on September 29th, baseball traveled to Mayville to play the Comets in a doubleheader. And just a day later, they stopped in Jamestown to also play the Jimmies. This week, the Blue Hawks will be at home against the Comets, as this will be their final match until March. For cross country, this week, both the men's and women's cross country team traveled to Jamestown to run in the Jimmy Invitational. And on the 21st, both teams will be traveling to Yankton, South Dakota to run in the Mount Marty Invitational. For football, last week the Blue Hawk football team traveled to Valley City State to take on the Vikings in a conference matchup. This week, the Blue Hawks faced Dacotah State in our homecoming match at home. Next week, the Blue Hawks will be back at home to take on the Waldorf Warriors. And for golf traveled to Lake Mills, Iowa to participate in the Waldorf Invitational. They also traveled to Forest City, Iowa to participate in the Warrior match. For volleyball, on September 29th, volleyball was at home to take on our in-conference opponent Waldorf. And this week, volleyball will be on the road as they take on the Bellevue Bruins. And on campus, last week, softball played women's basketball in a friendly softball match, and basketball lost 31-30. For some on-campus activities, this week there was a homecoming concert put on by our own DSU band. Thank you for that. And CAB also brought in the hypnotist Chris Jones. If you also enjoy ceramics and want to make a bowl that will be donated, today there's the Making Empty Bowls event if you're interested. And lastly, I just want to give a huge shout out to our spectators and sponsors because you help keep Hawk Talk going. And as always, Hawks are up.